Hello everyone. Today I will make an attempt to solve this reading part 1 assignment, and it will come from the actual test volumes, which is the or you can call it the VOL actual test. It is one of the more difficult topics in reading, uh, much harder compared to the Cambridge version. But I would try my best and show you some tips along the way. So first of all, we have the true, false, not given type of question. And in order to do this type of questions effectively, you will have to follow the steps. Well, step number 1 will be to read the questions over here, these statements really carefully, and you will have to identify some of the keywords presented in them. So, first of all, they said some physical evidence of Uruk still exists in Iraq. All right, so I will have the keyword here that is physical evidence, and we have another one that is Uruk. This will not likely to be paraphrased in the essay, so I will need to keep my eye on it. And it still exists in Iraq. All right. So I will look over here. It's very likely that the answer for question number 1 will be somewhere at the start of the essay. So that's where we'll focus on. So let's see. Mm-hmm. All right. So I found the keyword Europe here, and so maybe here, also here too. So maybe the answer is around here, and I will have to read more carefully about some physical evidence of it still existing in Iraq. And right off the bat, I can see here that they say there is not much left now of Uruk, which is about 250 kilometers south of Iraq capital Baghdad. But enough does remain to show that this initial experiment in urban living was extraordinarily successful. Alright, so there's not much left now, but there were some remains of it to show it's still it was a success. Hmm. So this is true. Alright, there are still some remains. It's equal to physical evidence. And it still exists in near just 250 kilometers south of Iraq. It's similar to exists in Iraq, so it will be a true. Next one. The people of Uruk live in large apartment buildings. All right, so people of Uruk, they live in large apartment buildings. Okay, let's see where they lived. Uh-huh. And there's something about intensive building and rebuilding. In that period, the people of Europe built a dozen or so large public buildings. So I can see here, they would carefully level what has stood before and then build another structure on top, often trying out a different building material or an innovative technique. Right. So they say here that they built many large public buildings, but they didn't say that whether they live in them or not. Alright, and apparently these are public buildings. There should be like government buildings or some public grounds not suitable for living in. So I would say that it's not given. Alright, let's read a bit more to confirm my suspicion. Uh-huh. Yeah, I don't think so. They are talking about the Mesopotamia area now, so not no longer related to the people of Uruk. So it should be not given because they didn't mention whether they live in a large apartment building or not, and they also do not deny or they do not say anything about they do not live in large buildings, so it cannot be false. So not given will be the correct answer. Next one. So builders in Europe frequently experimented with new construction methods. Ah, all right. So here's a very important word: frequently and experimenting with new construction method. Let's see if they do it or not. So here I can see often trying out a different building material or innovative technique. It seems quite true, right? Often is a synonym of frequently, and new construction method is through the different building materials and innovative technique. All right, so should be true. Next one. Urban settlements were unusual in Mesopotamia 4,500 years ago. The keyword will be urban settlement. Unusual in this place. All right, and there's also a time. So this will, so these Mesopotamia and 4,500 year will be a very useful keyword to locate the information. And then we'll see whether or not the urban settlements are unusual or not. So I can see here is, so 4,500 years ago, let's say 80% of the population live in city, over 40 hectares in size, with population of between 15,000 and 30,000. Thriving community, groups with no blood ties, unprecedented in human history. All right. So, hmm, basically is that people here, they live in cities with quite a large population, and it was unprecedented in human history. It means it has never happened in human history. Uh-huh. So it could be about it being unusual. Right. I think this is true. Very much true, since they do say that it was unprecedented, so it means it's very unusual. Alright, this is the city, so it's urban settlements. Well, not really sure. It just talk about no 80%. I mean a lot of people live in city. No, so it should be false. My bad. Because they say that 80%, it means a very large percentage of these people they live in cities. So of course urban settlement cannot be unusual. It should be false. Right? Really easy to get mixed up here. Be careful, guys. All right, number 5. The Tigris and the Euphrates rivers, rivers were important for the interchange of ideas. All right, so the important interchange of ideas should be like exchanging ideas, knowledge. Okay, let's scan for these keyword here. Mm, I do see something about narrow strip of fertile river valley. No, this river valley, not related. Here, the Tigris and the Euphrates rivers, they provided water for irrigation, that is for like watering the crops, and were also the basis of a communication system that lead to the spread of the latest concept in farming. So it was the basis of a communication system. Mhm. Right. Led to the spread of the latest concept in farming. Important for the interchange of ideas. But they didn't mention whether they were important or not. They do provide water. They were the basis of a communication system. Basis. Basis. We can understand basis as the underlining factor, the building material. So I think it's really important, okay? Not too sure, but on my guess, this should be basis is equal to being important. All right. Communication system and the spread of concepts should be the interchange of ideas. And last one, when there were food shortages, farmers relied mainly on the help of their relatives. All right. So food shortages, like they don't have enough food, farmers, all right, they relied on the help of their relatives. Okay, the relatives is quite important. Let's see if that's true or not. So in the threat of famine, okay, famine is equal to food shortage. Is when it's a period of time where people don't have enough to eat. It's famine. And okay, so who is so force people to look outside their family, all right, and work with their neighbors to create something. Mm-hmm. All right. So needed specific skill and labor from outside the farmer's family, right? And it's basically this pattern of dependence. It's like people relying on each other. Is the heart of civilization. So basically, farmer did not rely mainly on the help of relatives, but other people. All right, and that is my demonstration of how to tackle the true or not given type of question. You have to really focus on the statement here, read it carefully, highlight some of the keywords that is appearing over here, and then make comparison between first, you identify the location of the keyword and then read carefully around that area and identify where the keyword matches, then that's true. If they doesn't mention that, it will be not given. And if the keyword here and the claim over here is the opposite, it will be false. All right, best of luck. If you have any more questions, leave a comment below and I will try to answer it. Thank you. Oh, let's check the answer first. All right, we got everything. That's great. Okay, okay, very good. Thank you for watching. See you on the next episode.